Our gamers, buckle up, because the algorithm is back, and it is bringing the heat with another deep dive into the wild world of gaming news this week.
Yeah, tons to unpack this week.
Yeah, so much going on, so much to talk
Yeah.
about. I think this week, like you said, tons to unpack. A lot of it kind of centers around money,
Yeah, always does.
and just the value of things.
Perceived value
Yeah.
versus actual.
And how we spend our time, how we spend our money,
Mm-hmm.
as gamers.
Right.
And one thing that really stood out this week was this conversation around the Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater remaster,
Yeah.
right? Coming out, and it's going to be $80.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, a
Please.
remaster, $80.
Yeah, this remaster worth $80. I mean, it's a classic.
It is a classic.
But is a fresh coat of paint really worth that much? Especially when you look at, the rumors of GTA 6 coming out, and that might be a cool $100.
Yeah.
So, and people are really grappling with this idea of like,
Yeah. It's that perceived value.
what is the
Wow.
what is the value of these AAA games?
Especially when you've got indie games and older titles that offer a better bang for your buck.
Yeah.
One user even mentioned like how indie games are almost a breath of fresh air
Yeah,
compared to the corporate world of AAA.
it's true. And, on that note,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of things that can leave you feeling a little heartbroken, Dauntless,
Mm-hmm.
that free-to-play monster hunting game is shutting down servers after 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, this really kind of struck a chord with a lot of people because, it's that live service model.
Right.
It's like, some thrive and some don't. And it's that risk that you take, I guess, with a live service game.
Yeah, is the allure of constantly updated content
Right.
enough to outweigh the potential heartbreak of seeing your favorite online world disappear?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That is the question. And speaking of things that are kind of disappearing, we saw this image this week that really took me back.
Sorry.
A Halo 3 promotional standee,
Oh, wow.
still standing tall
Oh, that's awesome.
in a closed GameStop.
Wow, a relic.
I know, it's like a relic from a bygone era. And it just got me thinking about, the power of nostalgia.
Yeah.
And all these amazing games that we've played over the years.
Yeah.
And the comments were just flooded with people talking about Overlords and Fable and
Of course, Half-Life 3.
of course you can't have a conversation about nostalgia without someone mentioning Half-Life 3.
Right. Some things never die,
Right.
even if they never quite lived in the first place.
Oof, that's a deep one. But speaking of Half-Life 3, someone unearthed this hilarious throwback.
Oh, no.
Those two guys who protested outside Valve HQ
Oh, yeah.
back in 2011.
Demanding the game that never was?
I know, demanding the game that never was. It's been over a decade, and I bet they're still out there,
Oh, yeah.
holding on to hope.
Holding on.
Or maybe they've just accepted their fate as digital Sisyphus, eternally pushing that boulder of expectation
The expectation.
up the mountain of disappointment.
Oh, it's brutal, but, it speaks to the enduring power of gaming communities.
It does.
And their ability to rally around shared hopes and dreams, even in the face of overwhelming odds.
Yeah, so true. All right, let's switch gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about tech.
Okay.
The PSVR 2 headset is making waves, and apparently Sony is selling it at a loss to encourage adoption.
Ah, interesting tactic.
Yeah, some users see this as a really bold move,
Oh.
proving their commitment to VR.
Mm-hmm.
Others are skeptical,
Yeah, makes sense.
right? Because, the high costs are still there. The limited game library is still there.
Great, VR is at a crossroads.
Yeah.
It's been around for years.
Yeah, it has.
But mainstream adoption remains elusive.
And it's interesting, too, because, we talk about these barriers to entry, like you said, the cost
Mm-hmm.
and the limited games.
Limited games. Yeah.
But there's also those inherent compromises with VR.
Right, motion sickness. Accessibility issues for some players?
Yeah, so it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Nope.
So it really begs the question, will VR ever truly revolutionize gaming,
Mm-hmm.
or is it destined to remain a niche market?
Yeah.
We'll see. And
Yeah.
while we're pondering the future of gaming,
Okay.
let's not forget the elephant in the room, AI.
Oh, boy.
So a developer this week proudly showcased their top-down shooter,
Yeah.
explicitly stating it uses AI-generated assets.
Cue the internet implosion.
Cue the internet implosion, right?
Yeah.
And the comments section was a battlefield
Oh, I bet.
of opinions. Some users were condemning AI-generated assets as a threat to artistic integrity
Right.
and job security for artists.
Yeah.
Others defended AI, especially for smaller developers
Sure.
with limited resources,
Makes sense.
highlighting its potential as a tool for creativity and innovation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very
hot topic.
it's a very hot topic, and it really comes down to this question of like, where do we draw the line
Right.
with AI in games?
Or is that line?
Can we harness its power responsibly
Yeah.
while addressing these concerns about its impact on the industry?
It's a thorny issue.
It is.
And it's only going to get thornier
It is.
as AI gets more sophisticated.
Yeah, it's like we're standing at the edge of a brave new world.
That's a good way to put it.
But is it a utopia or a dystopia?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. And speaking of time thing, remember all those games that were announced back in like 2020?
Oh, yeah.
Fable Everwild, Avowed?
Right.
I mean, the wait is starting to feel eternal.
Yeah.
Cloud user even joked that we'll be playing Elder Scrolls 6 before we see any of these games.
Probably right.
Probably right. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's interesting because developing these AAA games, it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It's a complex process.
It is.
And delays are becoming more and more common.
Right.
So it's a balancing act for these developers.
It is.
Because they're trying to manage expectations,
Mm-hmm.
but also deliver a polished product.
You don't want to rush it.
Right. And, you know, it's
Mhm.
interesting to see how players react to that.
Yeah.
Because there's a mix of frustration
Sure.
and understanding.
Yeah.
You know. But speaking of games that didn't disappoint,
Okay.
Ultra Kill.
Ultra Kill.
This game is amazing.
I've heard good things.
It's fast-paced. It's stylish.
Yeah.
It's a shooter that's just taking the internet by storm.
Really?
One user even described it as gay robot angel heaven.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either,
But it sounds amazing.
it sounds awesome.
It does sound amazing.
Yeah.
But it's you know, it's this really unique blend of action humor
Okay.
and over-the-top style.
Nice.
And it's challenging but rewarding.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's gained so much traction just through word of mouth and online communities
That's impressive.
really speaks to its quality
Yeah.
and originality.
Definitely.
And speaking of originality, there's this game that's generating some buzz
Okay.
for its unconventional premise.
What is it?
It's called Esports Godfather.
Esports Godfather.
And it's a MOBA coach deck builder.
What?
So imagine like a fusion of Hearthstone
Okay.
and League of Legends.
Interesting combo.
Right, but with a focus on strategy and team management.
So you're not actually playing the MOBA.
You're managing the team.
We're the coach.
You're the coach, exactly.
Very cool.
And it's a really clever concept
Yeah.
because it taps into this whole growing esports phenomenon.
Right.
But it also gives players who maybe aren't interested in that fast-paced action
Sure.
of a traditional MOBA
Yeah.
a way to still engage with that world,
That makes sense.
right? And enjoy the strategy
A strategy, yeah.
and the competitive spirit.
Very cool.
So very cool game. Okay, buckle up for this one.
All right.
Unicorn Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord.
It's a mobile game,
Okay.
and it's being touted as a spiritual successor to Ogre Battle.
Interesting.
But it's generating some mixed reactions.
Why is that?
Well, first of all, the price,
Oh,
especially for a mobile game.
how much are we talking?
I think it's like $20.
Oh, wow. That's steep for a mobile game.
It is steep for a mobile game, and it also seems like it's designed for controllers.
So you need a controller to play it.
Yeah, which is a little strange for a mobile game.
That is strange.
So people are kind of like,
On the fence?
yeah, they're not sure about it. But it does speak to this evolving nature of mobile gaming.
Right.
You know, we're seeing more and more complex and demanding games
Mm-hmm.
designed for mobile platforms.
Yeah.
So it's kind of blurring the lines
Absolutely.
between console
Yeah.
and mobile experiences.
Yeah.
So, you know, the price point might be a barrier for some,
Yeah.
but it does reflect this increasing quality and
Yeah.
scope of mobile games.
Sure.
And, you know, while we're talking about mobile games, let's not forget about those hidden gems
Right.
that sometimes fly under the radar.
Totally.
There was this developer who shared a post about their game, Letter-like,
Letter-like.
and they described it as Scrabble meets Balatro.
Interesting.
It's a word game
Okay.
with rogue-like elements.
That sounds fun.
It sounds really fun. It's
Yeah.
like super addictive, brain-bending fun.
I like those kinds of games.
Me too. And what's really heartwarming is this developer is just like so enthusiastic
Oh, that's nice.
and engaged with the community,
It's awesome.
offering free codes, soliciting feedback.
That's great.
It's just a reminder that, these indie developers, they're the heart and soul
They are.
of innovation and creativity
Yeah.
in gaming.
Yeah.
And speaking of heartwarming,
Okay.
get this. Someone walked past their 84-year-old aunt's computer
Okay.
and discovered that she has Steam.
No way.
Yes, her game of choice, Chuzzle Deluxe.
What?
This gaming grandma is racking up high scores.
That is amazing.
You know, good for her. In a puzzle game that's older than some of our listeners.
That's so cool.
It's amazing, and it's just this reminder that, gaming transcends age barriers.
It does.
It really does. It's a universally enjoyable activity.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful to see someone embracing gaming
At any age.
at any stage of life.
That's awesome.
It really is. And while we're celebrating gaming grandmas,
Okay.
let's give a shout out to those developers who go above and beyond
Yeah.
for their players.
For sure.
One developer shared this story about delaying their new game shadows,
Okay.
so that their team could fully experience the new Elden Ring DLC.
Whoa.
Talk about a supportive work environment.
That's amazing.
Right.
Wow.
I know, it's just refreshing to see a studio that prioritizes their team's passion
Mm-hmm.
for gaming.
Yeah.
And, it's a reminder that game developers are gamers too.
Absolutely.
And they understand that excitement and anticipation
Yeah.
surrounding new releases.
For sure.
Okay, let's talk about something that's not so heartwarming.
Okay.
Graphics cards.
Oh, no.
Specifically, the NVIDIA 50 series. One user shared a picture of their 580
Yeah.
with this massive crack.
Oh, no.
And let's just say they were not happy.
I bet not.
And it seems like these quality control issues are still plaguing the industry, leaving some gamers with very expensive paperweights.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer. And speaking of questionable quality,
Ah.
remember that Wonder Woman game
Yeah.
that was in development?
I do?
Well, it's been canceled.
Oh, no.
And Monolith Productions, the studio behind the acclaimed Nemesis system, is being shut down.
Oh, wow.
So it seems the algorithm giveth,
And the algorithm taketh away.
and the algorithm taketh away.
That's rough.
It is rough, especially because, Warner Brothers patented the Nemesis system,
Right.
so other studios can't use it.
Can't use it.
And now they're shutting down the studio that created it.
That doesn't make sense.
I know it's a loss for the gaming community,
Definitely.
and some might say a prime example
Of corporate short-sightedness.
of corporate short-sightedness. Exactly.
Yeah.
But, hey, at least we can still find solace
Okay.
in those simple gaming joys.
Yeah.
One user shared a screenshot of their mobile game library
Okay.
packed with classic RPGs and indie gems. And it's a reminder that, great gaming experiences
Can be found anywhere.
can be found on any platform,
Totally.
even a humble potato phone.
Even a potato phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to the accessibility of gaming in the modern era.
Yeah.
I mean, mobile gaming has just exploded in popularity,
It has.
offering this diverse range of experiences
Yeah.
for players of all budgets
Right.
and preferences.
Totally.
And it's a testament to gaming's enduring power
It is.
to connect people
Yeah.
and provide entertainment,
Regardless of platform.
regardless of platform.
Absolutely.
So on that note, get ready, because next up,
Okay.
we're diving into the murky depths
Oh, boy.
of the internet
Right.
to unearth some of the most controversial comments.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
I know, right? The algorithm has dredged up this week.
The bad takes.
Hold on to your hats, folks. It's about to get spicy. Okay, so we're back, and we're ready to dive into the dumpster fire that is the internet comment section this week.
I am so ready for this.
I know, me too. All right. So remember that conversation we were having about skyrocketing game prices? Well, one user served up a piping hot take, blaming it all on pronouns.
Pronouns?
Yes, you heard that right.
Right.
Apparently, acknowledging gender identity is the reason your wallet is feeling lighter these days.
Wow.
It's a unique perspective, to say the least.
It's a choice.
It is a choice, but, hey, it sparked some hilarious responses.
Oh, I bet.
One user simply replied, "Actually, no wall."
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is a well-placed lull to dismantle a bad take.
Totally.
But amidst the sea of absurdity, There were some genuinely insightful comments, too.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so remember that discussion about Sony selling the PSVR 2 at a loss?
Yeah.
Well, one user pointed out that this strategy actually mirrors the PS5 launch,
Oh, interesting.
which was plagued by shortages and scalpers.
Yay.
So they're suggesting that maybe Sony is trying to avoid repeating those mistakes.
Learn from the past.
Yeah, exactly. Ensuring a smoother launch for their new VR headset.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but not everyone is convinced.
Oh, I bet.
Another user, clearly still scarred by the PS5 debacle,
Oh, yeah.
simply commented, "Fool me once."
Oof.
It seems some wounds run deep
They do.
in the gaming community.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it feels like this relentless march of technology is leaving some gamers behind.
Oh, yeah.
One user lamented that you can't even expect to get a full product in 2025.
Wow.
Kind of a cynical viewpoint,
Yeah.
but understandable in this era of day one patches, microtransactions, games that feel perpetually unfinished.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
But amidst all the negativity, there's this wave of nostalgia.
Okay, I like nostalgia.
Me too, watched over the internet this week.
Yeah.
Remember Blockbuster?
Oh, my God, yes.
One user's post about renting games back in the day
Oh.
just sparked this flood of reminiscence in the comments.
I bet.
And it really got me thinking about, those bygone days?
The land of late fees. Scratch discs.
Yes, and that magical feeling of browsing shelves,
Yeah.
packed with potential adventures.
Totally.
There was just this tangible sense of community and discovery
Right.
that you don't really get with digital platforms.
You don't.
But hey, the digital age has its perks too.
It does.
One user shared a screenshot of their meticulously organized Steam library
Oh, nice.
with hundreds of games neatly categorized and tagged.
Like a digital Marie Kondo?
I know, right? It's a level of digital hygiene
It is.
that would make Marie Kondo proud.
I love it.
And, it highlights this need for curation and personalization
Yeah.
in a world that's just saturated with choice.
Right. There are so many games.
There are.
It's hard to keep track.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that are hard to keep track of, the news about the Wonder Woman game being canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, it sparked a wave of anger and frustration.
I bet.
Warner Brothers taking the brunt of the blame.
Oh, yeah.
One user's comment was particularly scathing.
What did they say?
They said, WB truly is stupid and allergic to money.
Ouch.
Ouch is right. And it really reflects this growing dissatisfaction
Yeah.
with some of the decisions being made in the gaming industry.
Right. Like canceling promising projects.
Yeah.
Prioritizing live service models over single-player experiences.
Mhm.
Aggressively monetizing games through microtransactions.
It's a recipe for disaster.
It is.
It really is. And, let's not forget the ever-present AI debate.
Of course not.
The developer who proudly showcased their use of AI-generated assets faced a barrage of criticism,
Oh, yeah.
with some accusing them of being lazy and unoriginal.
Oh, wow.
And it really highlights those ethical complexities surrounding AI
In game development.
in game development.
Yes, for sure.
Because while some see AI as this powerful tool
Right, for enhancing creativity.
and accessibility, others fear it will lead to artistic stagnation and job displacement.
Makes sense.
So finding the right balance is going to be crucial.
It is.
As AI technology continues to evolve.
It is a complex issue.
It is.
With no easy answers.
It really is, but that's the beauty of the gaming world. It's constantly evolving.
It is.
Challenging us to think critically and engage in these meaningful conversations.
Absolutely.
It's a dynamic landscape shaped by passionate voices and fueled by this shared love for this interactive medium.
It really is.
And whether we're celebrating groundbreaking innovations or lamenting canceled projects or just reminiscing about the good old days of Blockbuster,
Right.
one thing remains clear. Gaming has this undeniable power
It does.
to connect us, challenge us, and transport us to worlds both real and imagined.
I completely agree.
So as we wrap up this whirlwind tour through the gaming verse, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What trends are catching your eye? What's got you excited, worried, or just plain baffled?
Yeah, let us know.
Share your thoughts, your hot takes, and your wildest predictions in the comments below.
We want to hear it all.
And as you navigate the ever-shifting landscape of gaming, consider this. In an era of constant connectivity and algorithmic influence, how can we ensure that gaming remains a space for genuine human connection, creativity, and meaningful expression?
That is the question.
That is the question. That's all the algorithm has for you this week. Until next time,
Stay curious. Keep playing.
stay safe out there.
And remember, sometimes the best take is just a good old-fashioned lol. Catch you on the flip side.